Hello everybody, my name is Graham Elwood. You are watching The Political Vigilante. So watching the second night of debates was really, it was boring and it was just so ridiculous to watch. And Kamala Harris, I fought for the homeowners of California who are facing foreclosure from the big banks. She is so full of shit. She is so full of shit. She helped the banks steal people's homes, including mine. Right? One West Bank that was run by Steve Mnuchin, right? Bought people's mortgages. Mine was at IndyMac. One West Bank bought up my mortgage at 30 to 40 cents on the dollar and then looked at it and forced me out. Told me, Graham, money was getting tight because of the recession. There wasn't as much stand-up work. Everything was getting tight. And they said, we'll cut your mortgage payment in half, right? For 3 months, it's called a 3-month forbearance. During that 3-month time, we're going to restructure your loan, use all this new stimulus money that Bush put in there and then Obama put in there, right? And we're going to restructure your loan. At the end of the 3 months, they say, oh, you don't qualify, and now you're 3 months behind on payments. That happened once under Bush and twice under Obama. And they did it with taxpayer money, your money, my money. And they looked at my house was in a nice neighborhood. They said, well, we kick this guy out of here. We can sell this guy and we'll make a profit. People that lived in neighborhoods that became overvalued, they knew they couldn't sell it. They actually restructured those people's homes. That's the thing Kamala always leaves out. And they let the banks do it. This was Dave Dane's article, January 5th, 2017. She had just been sworn in as senator, right? Or no, she won in 2016. She won as senator. She'd been sworn in. Kamala Harris fails to explain why she didn't prosecute Steve Mnuchin's bank. This is Dave Dane, comic, who has written the book Chain of Title. He goes through the whole scam of it. And look, I always say this. Dave worked, he volunteered to help the Democrats in the Obama campaign in 2018. He recruited me to phone bank for Obama. So I always say that to let you know, Dave Dane is not some guy that hates Obama. He wasn't some birth certificate guy. He was a guy that believed in the Democratic Party. He wrote a book called Chain of Title pointing out all of the scams that Bush and mainly Obama let happen. And now he's calling out Kamala Harris, and good for him. But he did this in 2017, right? Right ahead. Trump hadn't even been sworn in yet, right? So we're dealing with Trump's cabinet appointees. Steve Mnuchin was up for Secretary of Treasurer. They had the evidence to prosecute Steve Mnuchin when she was Attorney General of the state of California, and she didn't do it. And she has the audacity and the arrogance to sit there on that stage and say, I fought for, shut up. I'm so sick of watching all of these corporate Democrats say their crap. It's like Joe Biden, me and Obama. What? Took us from 2 wars to 7, Joe? What are you talking about? They're all complicit in this crap. Cory Booker, we got to stop Trump. You mean like when you gave him $80 billion, you and Liz Warren and Tim Kaine and 2 other Democrats gave Trump $80 billion extra dollars that he didn't ask for his war chest, for the war budget? Well, that happens 10 months later. That was October of 17. I'm so sick of listening to their bullshit. It's such a carnival. Prosecutors at the California Attorney General's office said they had found over 1,000 violations of foreclosure laws by his bank, Mnuchin's, One West, during that time, and predicted that further investigation would uncover thousands more. Over 1,000 violations of foreclosure laws. What if you or I broke 1,000 laws? I'd be in jail in a heartbeat. Set an example. The crazy comedian, foreclosure crook. Mnuchin? Widespread misconduct was closed after Harris declined to file civil enforcement action against the bank. Why didn't she prosecute? They had, I just said it, over 1,000 and knew they would get thousands more. And she declined. Don't lean in. Let me tell you something. Oh, Biden says, in fact, she leans in and says, let me tell you, shut up. It's all concocted. So this was, her office gave, because Dave Dane asked, The Intercept asked back in January of 17, why didn't you do this? Harris' statement on Tuesday doesn't explain how involved she was with the decision to not prosecute or why the decision was made. She just gives this mealy mouth back in just January 17, this mealy mouth. We saw the evidence and we have to, as a prosecutor, you got to make tough decisions based on the evidence. But you didn't answer. So then based on what you're saying, you should have prosecuted. She didn't answer. Right? So this is leading up to Steve Mnuchin's, who became Secretary of Treasury, by the way. So we had ExxonMobil in the State Department. Secretary of Treasury was, I don't know who's there now. Trump fires these guys every 5 minutes because he's a coked up idiot. It was always his brain has been fried by hanging out in a tanning salon doing blow. Trump is a white nationalist parasite, but the Democrats let him happen because the Democrats are just as corrupt. Bush gave $700 billion to the banks. Obama gave $700 billion to the banks. $1.4 trillion. I didn't get a nickel of that crap. I'm in a one-bedroom rent-controlled apartment. My condo, I bought it for $550,000 in 2003. Today it'd be worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.3, $1.5 million. Steve Mnuchin, you owe me $1.5 million. Now, I would take half of that if I also got to beat your head in. So that's my offer, 1.5 cash or a home worth that or the same square footage in the same neighborhood I'm living in now, or $750,000 and I get to pound your filthy ruling class face in. You choose, pal, whatever you want. But back then, January, Senate Democrats are going to fight Trump. Remember all the fight Trump, fight Trump, fight Trump? What have they been doing for the last year and a half? Giving him whatever he wanted. Senate Democrats have vowed to put up a fight over Mnuchin and even creating a website inviting homeowners to list their complaints against One West. Complaints like this. My family lived firsthand the fraud and unethical behavior under his leadership when I was told to default before they could help me and was instead pushed into foreclosure. That's what happened to me, said Peggy Mears, a One West victim. All these Democrats didn't vote for Mnuchin, but they didn't have control. So let's go to our good friends at cabinetvotes.org. You can do this too. We're going to find out how Kamala voted. Let's go look. Let's go see what she did. All right, so here is Cabinet Votes. I went to cabinetvotes.org. And we're going to expand that a little bit. So if you go to cabinetvotes.org, you can type in a filter. You can press Democrats, and then you can just filter by Harris, Feinstein, whatever. If you do Feinstein, you'll see Dianne Feinstein voted for Mike Pompeo. So here are all Trump's appointees. Here's who she voted for, didn't vote for. Okay. Right. Voted for Mattis. Didn't vote for Pompeo. Oh, wow. Did you fall asleep during that vote? Voted for Nikki Haley. Voted for Rex Tillerson. Steve Mnuchin. Stephen T. Mnuchin. I suggest you go to Cabinet Votes yourselves, folks. That's why I'm the political vigilante. Because I can just do this research and call out the lies of the ruling class. Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, Cory Booker are fake progressives. The only real ones I see are Bernie and Tulsi. The only real ones I see. Mike Gravel, if they ever got him on stage. That's why you guys come here. You don't watch your news on CNN. I'm sure Kamala's doing a 24-hour bullshit cycle. She's already calling Tulsi an Assad apologist because Tulsi called her out for who she was, which is locking brown people up. That's what Kamala did. She locked brown people up. That's who Kamala Harris is. She is as Caitlin Johnson said, a dream for the oligarchs. The ruling class would be so happy if Kamala was the president. She'd restore dignity. Her tweets would be dignified. She'd protect Roe v. Wade. She'd get us back in the Paris Agreement, and the planet would be melting and burning while she swam around in a pool of money that was given to her by oligarch parasites like Steve Mnuchin. Thanks for watching. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood, rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Like and subscribe and share my videos. I'm dependent upon you. I don't sit there. I don't have knee pads that I get down and blow the greasy corporate overlords that run these two whorehouses called the Republican and Democratic parties. I'm actually dependent upon you folks because you're decent, moral, hardworking people that aren't goddamn soulless parasites like these maggots that are fighting over who's going to get to be the bigger parasite in that white mansion that is just a big fuck you to anyone that's ever had a job for a living. Thanks for watching.